welcome to Tuesdays with Terri. So, today I wanted to talk about pivotal moments that happen in your life that fuel your mission. So, today I'm going to talk about four pivotal moments that happened in my life that really fuel my mission of wanting to help people live happy and at peace while running a successful business, being able to live a lifestyle that they love on their terms. Okay, so the very first pivotal moment that happened in my life was when I was 8 years old. I planned to kill myself. So I had a full plan. Basically, what happened, you might have heard this story before. I felt like I was living a real life Cinderella story. So I had two stepsisters, and maybe this was just how they acted and I took it differently, but I definitely was doing all the chores and just feeling belittled by them all the time. And so with that Cinderella story, it caused me to, limit my beliefs, my self-value and myself. So that was definitely one pivotal moment. I thought, I was a burden to other people. And at that time, um, yeah, my dad was working all the time, so he wasn't around. My mom was in rehab. She had toxic shock and got addicted to the prescription medication that she was given. So I was 8 years old, feeling totally alone, being bullied by these two girls that I lived with. So I passed by my dad's room one day when I was going to the bathroom, and I saw he had closed the door and there was a gun in there. So I thought, oh, perfect. Like, this is a chance where I can end it all and stop being such a burden to everyone. That's what I thought at the time. So that was a really pivotal moment in my life when, I told my best friend about the story. Like, I saw that, that he has a gun and this is the perfect way for me to end everything. And so, as a good friend should do, she told her dad, who told my dad. I got picked up, and I went to therapy right away, which, I'm very blessed that I was able to do that, because yeah, I was at such a low point, didn't feel loved at all. And I think that's affected a lot of different situations of how I showed up in the world, with relationships, with different jobs and opportunities I took or I didn't take. And then another pivotal moment after that was my first love was murdered. So, man, that was a really, really hard time in my life, because yeah, I mean, I totally loved him. And so, I mean, it's crazy to think, I grew up in Foster City, which is like a nice neighborhood. And so, he was one of like the first guys that just totally loved me. And never really felt that love. So anyways, I totally loved him. He was just so much fun, such a character, just awesome. And what happened was that night, so his cousin had gotten killed. And so he was going to get his justice, but ended up he got murdered as well. So I got a call about midnight, but I was asleep. It was his aunt had called me, and I couldn't understand the message at all. She just, of course, just crying, but I didn't understand it was crying. I thought it might have been static. I just didn't really get the message. When I woke up in the morning, and I was on my way to Santa Cruz to go visit my uncle, who that ended up being, that was the last time I saw him before he had committed suicide. But I saw, so I went there. So then I called her back when I drove us there, me and my mom. And then when I got there, I finally called back, and I was like, hey, Auntie Elaine, what's happening? And I got your message. And then she's like, Mel's been shot. And I was like, oh my God, my heart sunk into my stomach. Like, oh my God. And then I was like, what hospital? I'm coming right now. And she's like, he's dead. So that just, like, I started falling on the ground, just screaming and screaming and screaming and crying, and like just totally lost my mind. So basically what happened was, um, yeah, I was at a super low point, just mourning the loss of my first love. And so after that, um, it was a couple months had gone by. So I was back, in the Bay Area where I live, and then went back to school. And I just, was sad. And I was like, man, really, I just want like a big hug right now. Like, I need some comfort from, all this pain that I'm feeling from the loss. And so I just felt this really big, warm embrace. And I thought, wow, like there is a love out there. There is like a presence. So, out there that's just amazing, like just all love. And I felt it. So, but I never really went to church or anything before that. So that introduced me to the spiritual world. And so that was a beautiful, beautiful moment of, just being comforted and just felt, very loved in that moment, and realized that we are more than just our bodies. So that was definitely a pivotal moment, realizing that. And then the third pivotal moment is when I was what was I going to say? Okay, so when I was working, so working, I just working, your regular jobs, and I knew, so I was getting my MBA, and I knew I wanted to have a business. I did not want to get back into the work grind. So I told the lady that I reported to, who was a consultant. So she was the marketing director, or acting as marketing director, but was a consultant. So I was like, you know what, I want to be a consultant. Like that's what I want to do. I had been, looking into entrepreneurship, looking at podcasts, getting different books, like 6 months to six figures. So, anyways, I knew that it was possible. I'd seen people, my age and even younger, just really making it happen in the entrepreneur world. So I had told her, 'cause she's like, "Oh, I'll help you get a job, once you get your MBA." And I told her, well, because it was just a grant funded 1 year position, and that I had taken while doing my MBA. And she said, when I was like, "I want to do what you do, I want to do consulting," she's like, "There's no way, like, you don't have enough experience and you're too young." So that really like lit my fire, and I was like, all right. So I went and got a coach. So I got a coach, a business coach, to teach me, marketing, to get a plan together so I could do this. And so she helped me, and then right a month after I graduated, I ended up getting a consulting gig, marketing consulting gig at the Bay Area Entrepreneur Center. So I was their in-house consultant for other entrepreneurs. I also did their marketing consulting. From there, I branched off. I met plastic surgeons, gym owners, other consultants, authors, healers, and I started doing their marketing. So that was definitely a pivotal moment in my career, and I realized I can, get clients. I can start a business. I can serve people in great ways. I have a lot of value and experience and knowledge that is very useful to other people. So that was amazing. I was like, wow, this whole entrepreneur thing, it works. It can work, So that was the first, my first introduction to entrepreneurship. So that was the third thing that was like a big pivotal change. Let's see. So so there's actually a moment in between there before. I was kind of deciding there's like on two, maybe there's five pivotal moments then. So before I got this awesome job after my MBA, before that, when I was still an undergrad, my boyfriend had punched me in the face. And this wasn't like, usually it's not the first time I'm like there's some kind of dispute going on. But anyways, that's when I knew I was done with that relationship. So that's a crazy thing to go through when you love somebody so much and like they put hands on you. But it was like there's never an excuse for that ever. But I know, yeah, I was like, on the way out of leaving the relationship. So I think that was like getting him really upset, and he just used the excuse that he loved me so much. And it's kind of shocking when it happens the first time. You think, oh, he's like, oh my god, I would never do that again. I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that happened. But then a lot of times, it happens again. So if you're ever in that situation, you should definitely leave. But this was played a good, played out like how my mindset was and what I felt like I deserved in the world, like how I, showed how I love myself. So now that I'm studying A Course in Miracles, which is now like the fifth pivotal moment in my life that happened. So this is because A Course in Miracles is the foundation for inner peace. So I had been reading like Gabby Bernstein, The Universe Has Your Back, Gary Renard, Disappearance of the Universe. These are all amazing books. And so they all talk about the Course in Miracles because they're all Course in Miracles teachers. So I was like, hey, let me get this Course in Miracles. And before I actually got A Course in Miracles, this was the big moment that happened, was I had a revelation. So I don't know if you know what a revelation is, but it's basically being in the presence of God. So it's just like this all-encompassing, like warm light, like kind of like when I asked for that hug. Like it was like a little bit like that was just kind of like I wasn't open to really that, the real world actually, like that's not like physical. And so yeah, that little hug was kind of a little start of it, but this was an all-encompassing feeling, just took over my whole body. And it was like there's no space or no time. It was just pure joy and pure love, like the most beautiful thing you could ever experience in your whole life. So that's definitely the fifth pivotal moment, with my revelation and being in the presence of God. So from there, I went to a Course in Miracles conference, and then I became a Course in Miracles teacher, and I started teaching at Unity in San Francisco. And that's really changed the direction of my life, and really wanting to help other people connect with their source, their inner guide, and to get them to live happy and at peace, which is God's will for us. So that's the Tuesdays with Terri. So I want you to think about, what are the pivotal moments in your life that really, like, changed your course, changed your mind, changed your perception, and that really fuel you to, you know, go out into the world and live this mission, and to, just fuel your own fire, to, whether it's in your business, in your career, in your family life, like, what is that mission? What's that story, that pivotal moment in your life that changed the direction of your life? So yeah, let me know. I'd be super interested. And that's all for today. Thanks for listening. Definitely let me know if you're watching the replay. Then just let me know, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.